So if we want to avoid cramping, we need to make sure that we're coming into the session Hey guys, Coach Ben here, bigbenchas.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about a big subject, one that pisses a lot of people off. That's going to be back cramps. Alright, you're getting tight for a big bench, all of a sudden you're getting cramps in your back, you get up off the bench, your lower back is tight, won't let loose on you. So I'm going to share some of the things that I do to deal with back cramping. Alright, and this is something that you really have to tack in your warm-up to the bench press. And depending who you are and how prone you are to back cramps, you might need to spend more time warming up for the bench press. That general area, warming up your hips in terms of doing some soft tissue, some stretching. So I'm going to show you some of the things that have been valuable to me, as I've also experienced some back cramping, just some back tightness, especially when getting up off the bench out of your arch. So I'm going to demo some of those things for you right now. Alright guys, so the first one here is called a figure 4 stretch. There's probably some other names for it, but that's what I call it. I'm going to get down here on my butt. I'm going to leave one leg propped up like this, alright, an external rotation, and then I'm going to stretch to this leg. Alright, and when I stretch to this leg, that really helps, I get a little stretch in the hips, and that really helps open up that lower back. Alright, so I'm going to lean towards this outstretched leg. So I'm going to bring my chest to this knee. Use my breath to get a little lower, and then to enhance it too, I'm also just going to take this hand and try to bring it closer to my foot. And that's going to really help open up my lower back. I can feel the stretch coming all the way up here. Alright, that's going to help open me up and stretch out that area, so hopefully I'm not getting some really nasty cramps. The next one here is a simple hip flexor stretch, and why this one is so important is because the hip flexor is usually an area that gets super tight on people, especially those working desk jobs or aren't super active throughout the day. Alright, glutes get pretty inactive, they get tight. Hip flexor super tight from being in a bent position all day. Alright, so we just stretch out the lower back a little bit. We gotta make sure we take care of the hips, or that lower back stretching is not really doing anything for us because we're still all tight and jammed up here. So a simple hip flexor stretch goes a long way, and this is something I like to do before I bench. You don't really correlate lower body to bench pressing all the time. You see a lot of people skip it in their warm-ups, but lower body is just as critical as anything. Bench press is a full body movement. If you want to avoid back cramps, hip cramps, we have to take care of these things before we bench. So simple hip flexor, we're just going to stay tall, squeeze the glutes. I'm going to try to tuck my pelvis underneath me. That already puts me on stretch. I'm going to breathe in. And just rock forward slightly. I don't got to go into this aggressively. All right, that's already shaking. That's tight right there. I'm just keeping that tilt underneath me. All right, I'm just trying to open up this area. Because if this is tight on us, right, that's going to pull us into this extension here, all right? And we don't want that, because that's just going to help contribute to those back cramps and that nasty back tightness you're going to experience. All right, so now we're going to do a little soft tissue on the glutes. So first we're going to do the soft tissue portion with the lax ball, just to break up some adhesions, warm up the area, get the tissue a little bit more pliable, and then we're going to go and stretch it. Okay, so first I'm just going to get into a figure 4. Now, why I get into this position, it's just going to increase the stretch a bit on my glutes as is, and then that's going to enhance the effect if I can get this lacrosse ball into more of a stretched muscle. So I'm just rolling over some real tight spots, like right there. When you find a nasty spot, just keep sitting on it. All right, and you might think, hey, we do this for squat and deadlift. You don't really correlate it to doing it while you're benching, nor really correlating it to protecting your lower back. But if you're getting lower back cramps, you gotta take care of the glutes as well. That's gonna be huge. All that connects in with the lower back, hip flexors pulling you into extension. So now that we worked the glutes a little bit, and you might wanna spend some more time on that depending, especially if you haven't done it in a while, I'm just gonna go into a simple glute stretch. So I'm just gonna bring my feet up. I'm gonna allow my knees to come down to the side. And then I'm gonna come over my knee, and that's going to put me in a great glute stretch here. All right, and I try to stay squared up as I can. I don't wanna just do this, and I'm not getting anything on my glutes. I wanna square up, and I wanna fall right over that knee, and I'm getting a vicious stretch here in my glutes. Use my breath to bring me down. All right, so that's giving me a great glute stretch. Just from the combination of things we've done already, I'm already feeling a lot looser. Hopefully it's gonna help spare my lower back when I get on the bench. And the first time you do this, guys, too, is not gonna instantly create a fix. It's gonna help, but you gotta do these things religiously. You gotta do them every day, all right? If you have a chronic problem, you need to create a chronic solution. So you need to be doing this regularly. All right, not just before you get on the bench, but you want to do some of these things regularly to keep your lower back how it should be, not tight on you, not pulled into extension. All right, so these are things we want to work on all the time. And then at the end of the day, a lot of issues with cramping comes down to proper hydration. If you're not hydrated, if you don't have enough electrolytes, all right, oftentimes that's correlated to cramping. So if we want to avoid cramping, we need to make sure that we're coming into the session hydrated. Listen, it's July here in New York right now. It is hot, it is humid. I'm losing a lot of sweat in these training sessions, right? And if you're in a hot area, you have to pay even more attention to that. If you're getting a lot of cramping, probably because you might be underhydrated. One thing that I really love is Nuun tabs, N-U-U-N. Nuun tabs are an electrolyte tablet you can throw into your water, and they are a great blend of electrolytes, the sodium, the potassium. You know, it'll keep you from really experiencing cramps. And when I've experienced cramps in meets, not directly correlated to my lower back, but whether it's quads or hips or anything, if I was getting really nasty cramps in competition, I would pop Nuun tabs, and it's usually that I was underhydrated, I didn't have enough electrolytes, I wasn't drinking enough, and usually that takes care of it. So definitely check to see if you're hydrating properly. That's a main cause. And then any restrictions that you may encounter. So if you go through any of those lower body type stretches and soft tissue, if you notice anything super tight on you, you may have some type of a restriction, all right? And you need to take care of that, or you're going to continuously start to lock up in your lower back. So if you notice your glutes are super tight, then that's a huge red flag. Hey, we need to take care of that. All right, so there you have it, guys. Lower back cramps, that's how we can help prevent them. Not entirely, but you need to keep up with this stuff regularly, all right, and it should help a ton. Coach Ben here. You know where to find me. You can meet me on a bench. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel over here. Check out the links in the description box below. You can see a video related on this topic right here, and then our latest video right there. Thanks for watching.